Hey, you guys, it's Anne Marie in the trees. Hi, trees, and the sun and nature. It's getting a little chilly. So I'm going to pack up here. It's only 4:47, so that may be a significance. But I was getting ready to pack up, and I had like a quick being of I need to pull from What's the Vibe deck. So I'm going to do another reading real quick. Ask Spirit, what's the vibe? What do we need to be aware of, Spirit? Thank you to my high vibrating ancestor spirit guides, divine simplicity, source of light energy. Can you please give us a message of clarity of what's the vibe? What is the vibe? Ooh. Well, this is why the last reading, narcissist, came out. Oh, okay. So narcissist, egocentric, egotistical, opportunist, fragile. Oh, somebody has a fragile ego. I'm not even going to talk all of a sudden. Someone has a fragile ego. You've really, it's just like Humpty Dumpty. It's like, look at this little golden egg. He thinks he's a golden egg. I'm the king. I'm stepping on everybody. Someone in your energy or someone from the past has really walked over a lot of people. And I don't know if this is like a connection to the last reading. What is it we need to know about this narcissist spirit? Oh, they're karmics, third parties, haters, lesson learned. You've learned from these people. You've learned from these narcissists. You've learned how to spot them a mile away. You may even be speaking out about these narcissists in your life or your experience with narcissists. You may have a platform, and so you have talked a lot about narcissism or being a people pleaser and how you were able to make it out of that. And here's the cliff notes for those who are still battling that, because it's so challenging, especially if you've been someone who's been surrounded by him your whole life and you were a people pleaser. And you're recognizing, holy shit, pretty much everybody around me or a lot of people around me are narcissists, and you're trying to figure out how to get out of the situation because energetically, it can be a challenge. So I'm going to give you the cliff note real quick. Silence. Ghost them. The best thing anybody could ever do is go completely no contact. Don't speak about them. Don't talk to them. The best thing you can do. They hate the silence. Because when you're silent and you don't respond and you don't engage, again, I always talk about these energetic cords that happens with everything in life. At least with the visions I get and what Spirit shows me, is every time we engage anybody, even if it's someone at the grocery store, it doesn't have to be the narcissist. Anytime we engage someone, we're connecting some type of energetic cord to them. So when these narcissists, when they will try to do everything they can to keep you in their energy, especially if they haven't have a new supply yet brewing, because usually they got to get a new supply first. I noticed that here, and honestly, in the spiritual community here. One of the people I studied under was, I believe, to be a narcissist. And I noticed how they had different energy supplies. And I could tell when I was being in the discard phase, right? Because they were already doing a smear campaign on me way before the attempted discard. But I just removed myself. And the best thing you can do is silence. Don't respond. Don't react. Don't attach that energetic cord to them. That's how they feed and that's how they get your energy. And when you cut that supply off, of course, that's when they start to get a little crazy. And so, distance. Didn't I say give them distance? Distance, silence. Distance, divorce, ghosted, separated. Maybe this is what you've been doing. Good job. So this is like the after card. So smell the roses, slow down, take some time for you, and get out in nature. You know, I'm always going to say that. It's very healing. It's very important to heal when you have walked away from these third parties, even if they're not narcissists, but people who have narcissistic type of behaviors. But when you've walked away from karmics, haters, you've learned your lesson, you've given them, the distance, you've walked away, you ghosted the situation. Spirit is saying that it's, especially in this society we live in, it's always go, go, go. It's so important for you just to stop. And while you're healing, and this is part of healing, and my belief, is being outside in nature, taking time for yourself, being present in the moment. It's very hard, especially with these narcissists or people with narcissistic tendencies. It's like walking on eggshells and walking on glass. And so it can be a challenging time once we get out of those energies to really stay present in the moment, because we're always worried about, well, I'd say we I used to be always worried about what the next thing was going to happen, when the next shoe that was going to drop. And so I had to get myself out of that. And the best thing that helped me along the way, a lot of things did, but it was just taking a nice walk in nature. Even if I only had 30 minutes or 15 minutes, I drive to a park and I would just walk in nature and be around the trees. So there was nothing, no noises around me except for Mother Nature. And so Spirit is saying is that if you're coming out of this, if you've come out of this, out of these connections and these relationships, that's really important to take time for yourself and to heal not only your heart, but your mind, your body, your soul. That's what saging of the soul is all about. When you're hungry, your stomach rumbles. So you're like, oh, I'm hungry. Or you may get hangry, right? And when you have to go to the bathroom, your body tells you, right? So how do you know what your soul and spirit need if you're not listening to them and you're not quieting your mind? And to cleanse it, saging of the soul. So what does your soul and spirit need to cleanse and heal as well? Spirit is saying you'll find more of this when you're able just to slow down. Even if you have a very busy or chaotic job, stop in the middle of the hour or every other hour and just stop, take a couple deep breaths, go outside. I do this multiple times a day, actually. I'll go outside and stare at the sun for a minute and visualize any heavy energies around me or just being rushed a lot, to kind of keep myself present in the moment. Because as I said in the previous reading, a big trigger for people who identify as empaths is being rushed. And I know that about myself. I mean, I have all kinds of symptoms when I'm rushed. And because the type of work that I do for the 3D world as a social worker and working with a population of people that's the least served and most underserved, which is the homeless population, and most disregarded population of people, it can be a lot of chaos just because of the situations they're in. And who knows best about how that feels, right? But people who've been in it. And so Spirit is saying it's really important for you to nurture yourself. It's like this major aftercare. Spirit has shown me that someone needs a little bit more. Spirit said, no, a lot more aftercare. Smelling the roses, taking time for yourself, nurturing your mind, body, soul, and spirit. It's hard to understand what that looks like for you if you're not quieting your mind and being in the present. How do you know what your soul and spirit want if you're not listening to it? And for everybody, it's different. So you kind of have to find what works best for you, what calms you down, what relaxes you. Some people, my friend Sarah, she always says that it really relaxes her doing puzzles. And I'm like, that would drive me crazy. That would bring me anxiety. I hate puzzles. I haven't tried it in a long time, so maybe I need to open that door back up and see. But for one person it's very calming, for another person it's chaos and anxiety. So you need to really find something that you can just quiet your mind and just be present. Because your spirit and your soul is trying to tell you that there's some other needs, some other things that you may be neglecting that kind of need a little bit of healing since you've gotten out of this. There's a lot of behaviors probably that are not your true character, but some things when we are in survival mode or we are in these toxic type of connections, we develop certain behaviors that normally wouldn't be us, so to say, but we developed them out of survival mode. And we develop these just like someone who's in recovery. There's a lot of behaviors and actions and toxic mindsets even that we develop and lies that we tell ourselves that we kind of have to peel the onion back and take a look at. What are some behaviors or some things that you may have picked up along the way in these toxic connections with these people who represent narcissists in your life, or that the situations where you were always people pleasing? What are some behaviors that aren't your personality, that no longer serve you, that you need to release? And the best way to find out what those are is to at least start with being quiet, giving your body and soul and mind time to rest and rejuvenate. And I'm telling you, Mother Nature is the best place to do it. I hope you're healthy and happy and full of joy, guys. I truly, truly do. May you love and be loved. Heal, don't harm. And good job. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Okay? It's not easy. Be well.